everyone, welcome to Hardcore Glutes. I'm trying to record this in landscape mode, but it's not seeming to let me. So let me just switch my phone around here. Bear with me. Okay. That should work. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. So welcome to Hardcore Glutes. My name is Elizabeth, and I am the health and fitness coordinator here in Bedford. So today we're going to be working our glutes. We're going to also be working our core, hence the name. We have 3 circuits. All you need is a resistance band. I went for like a heavyweight one, but you can go anywhere from light to heavy, whatever feels best to you. We're going to be doing most of our moves on the mat today. The first 2 circuits are going to be targeting our glutes, and then the last circuit will be targeting our core. So each circuit has 3 exercises, and we're going to do 3 sets of each. 45 seconds of work, 20 seconds of rest between each exercise. So we will get started in just a moment. Let me just get my timer set up, and then we'll be ready to go. Okay. So first we're going to do a little warm-up. So we're going to do some air squats. So standing up on your mat, your feet are about hip distance apart. Squat your weight down, and then stand back up. Great job. Do a handful of these. Keep your torso nice and upright in these squats. As you stand up, just slightly tucking the pelvis forward at the top there. Let's do 2 more of these. 1 and 2. Next up, let's do some knee hugs. So you're gonna hug one knee into your chest, and then the other knee. And the other knee. Continuing this way. One more on each side. Now we're going to do some external hip rotations. So plant your left foot on the ground and then bring your right leg up, knee up towards the sky, and then out away from your body. Tap that foot back down on the mat. And repeat. So we're making circles with our knee, opening up those hips. Great job. Let's do 2 more on this side. Last one. Plant that right foot down, and we're going to do the same thing on the left side. Picking up that left leg up the middle, and then rotating it out away from your body, and then tapping that foot down on the mat. And repeat. Drawing circles with your knee. Looking good. Let's do 2 more. 1 and 2. Great job. All right, we're going to do some good mornings now. So you're going to stand nice and tall on your mat. You're going to sweep those arms overhead. Tuck that pelvis forward, and you're going to hinge forward the hips here, keeping a nice straight back. Once you're at that 90-degree angle, your back is nice and flat. You're going to stand back up, squeeze the glutes at the top, and repeat. Have a little bit of a bend in the knee there, so you're not hyperextending your knees. Warming up those glutes and the hamstrings. Let's do 3 more of these. Last one. Great job. All right, last move of our warm-up is a modified jumping jack. So instead of doing a full jumping jack where you're actually jumping, you're going to just step your one foot out while you raise both arms overhead, and then bring that foot back to the middle and switch feet. Just like that. Great job. Keep it moving. Let's do 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Great job. All right, we're going to get into our first circuit now. So I'll first demonstrate what the exercises are going to be so that you don't have to stop and do a lot of explaining during the actual circuit. So we're using that resistance band, getting down on the mat. The first exercise is a banded glute bridge. So you're going to put that resistance band over around your legs. You're just going to place it above your knees here. No, not on your knees, but just on the part of your thighs towards your knees, I guess. Okay, then you're going to place your feet on the mat about hip distance apart, and then just roll back on your back. You're gonna push against the resistance band a bit. So the resistance band is gonna wanna keep your thighs together, but in order to engage your glutes more, you're gonna just push against that resistance band till your legs are hip distance apart, and then you're going to extend those hips up towards the sky. Pause for a moment, and then drop your hips back down. Then extend up towards the sky, pause for a moment, and then place those hips back down, just like that. So that's that first exercise. The second exercise in this circuit is a clamshell, and that'll actually be the third exercise as well. We're just going to switch sides. So we'll start by leaning on your left forearm here. Your left thigh is down in the mat. Your right leg is laying on top of your left leg. And you just have your, instead of having your legs straight out, you're just gonna bend those legs and bring them up a little bit closer to your torso. And then you're gonna keep that band in the same place as where it was for the glute bridges. Your feet are together, and you're gonna open up that top thigh. You'll feel a nice squeeze through your right glute, and then you're gonna drop that leg back down to meet your left leg. Just like that. So opening up that top leg, pausing for a second, and then coming back down. And for our third exercise, we're just gonna do the exact same thing, but switch sides. We'll rest on our right forearm, and then repeat the same thing on that side. Okay, so let's get started with that first circuit. Starting right now with the glute bridges. So getting into that glute bridge position, you've got that band on your thighs. Your feet are down on the mat. You're gonna lift your hips up towards the sky, hold for a second, and then come back down. Should be like a 90-degree angle at your knee joint when you extend up to the top. So if you find that that angle is too small or too large, then that means your feet are either too close or too far away from your torso. So just play around with your footing a little bit so you get that 90-degree angle. 2, 1, rest. Great job. Next up, we're going to do those clamshells. So we're going to start on our left side, leaning on our left forearm here. Band stays in the same place, getting started in 5 seconds. You might want to rest that right hand on your right hip. And now starting, raising that right thigh up towards the sky and then bringing it down. Great Great job. Just pause at the top there before bringing your thigh back down. This one really works those glutes. Feel the burn. – 20 more seconds here, and then we're going to switch sides after a quick rest. – 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, rest. Great job. Now we're just going to switch sides. Keep that band in the same place. Just leaning on our right side, our right forearm. Getting started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Opening up that left thigh towards the sky, and then placing it back down on top of that right thigh. Great job. You might find one side's a little harder than the other. That's normal. This side is a little bit more difficult for me. Doing great. Keep pushing through. Just 10 more seconds here. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Great job. Now we're going to take it back to the top with those glute bridges. So laying back down on the mat, just getting set up here. Feet flat on the ground, knees pointing up towards the sky. And starting in 3, 2, 1, bringing those hips up towards the sky, pushing against the resistance band, out away from your body till your legs are static at like hip distance apart. Raise your hips up towards the sky, squeeze for a moment, and then bring them back down. Doing good. – 15 more seconds here. 3, 2, 1, rest. Nice job. Moving back into the clamshells, we're going to start with on our left side. So leaning on that left forearm. Thighs are together, feet are together. Band is in the same place, starting in 3, 2, 1, opening up that top thigh, lifting it up towards the ceiling, pausing for a moment, and then bringing it back down on top of the left thigh. You got this. Focusing on your breath. 15 more seconds. So close. 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. We're going to switch sides. Leaning on our right side, on our right forearm. Getting started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Raising that left thigh up towards the ceiling, and then placing it back down on top of the thigh after pausing at the top for just a moment. Doing good. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose or mouth. Not much longer here, just 10 more seconds, and then we're going to get into our last set of each of these exercises. 3, 2, 1, rest. All right, back to the glute bridges, our last glute bridge and then clamshells of this workout until we move on to the next circuit. All right, so laying on our backs, feet are on the ground, knees are pointing up towards the sky, and lifting those hips up towards the sky, pausing at the top for a second and then coming back down, remembering to push against the resistance of that band so that your legs, your thighs are hip distance apart. If you want, you can also just hold at the top of this glute bridge for the entire working period. That is also an option. Ten more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Great job. Getting back into those clamshells, final ones of this workout. Leaning on our left side, left forearm, thighs together, feet are together. Starting in 3, 2, 1, lifting that right thigh up towards the sky, pausing for a moment, and then bringing it back down. And repeating. You're doing great. Fifteen more seconds here. Keep pushing. 3, 2, 1, rest. Switch sides. Leaning on that right forearm. Right thigh is on the ground, left thigh is on top, feet are together, knees are bent. And starting in 3, 2, 1, lifting that left thigh up towards the sky, pausing for a moment, and then bringing it back down. Doing good. Not much longer here. And then you'll get a nice long rest while I explain the exercises in the next circuit. Five more seconds. 3, 2, 1, rest. Great work. Crushed out that first circuit. All right. For the next circuit, we've got one exercise standing and then the other two are on the mat. So we're still targeting the glutes. So for this, you're going to do a sumo squat hold. So the first exercise is sumo squat hold. Your feet are a little bit more than shoulder distance apart. Your toes are pointing slightly out. Then you're going to either keep your hands clasped at your chest or you can raise them overhead if you want to make this more challenging. And then you're going to squat down as far down as you feel comfortable, and we're just going to hold there for the full 45 seconds. So the further down you squat, the more difficult this is going to be. So you can just squat down here, or at that 90-degree angle of the knee, whatever feels best to you. And you can always adjust that if needed. So that's the first exercise. Second one is a donkey kick with your right foot, and then the last exercise is a donkey kick with your left foot. So I'll show you what that should look like. So you can do this one with a band or without a band. If you use the resistance band, it's going to be a little bit more challenging. So this is what it looks like with the resistance band. So you're going to place the resistance band same place you would for a glute bridge or those clamshells, just over your thighs. You're going to get into tabletop position here. So your hands are under your shoulder points, your knees are under your hip points, And then you're going to start on the right side, kick that right foot up towards the ceiling, and then bring it back down, and back up towards the ceiling, bring it back down. So targeting that right glute. And then we'll switch to the left side for the last exercise of that circuit. So like I said, you can do this with or without a band. I'm going to do it without a band for this workout, but totally up to you what you do. So let's get started. We're going to start with those sumo squats. So the sumo squat hold, I should say. Starting now. Yes. So feet are a little more than shoulder distance apart, pointing slightly out. Then you're going to squat down and hold in that position. So let's do a quick posture check here. You want your torso as upright as it can be. Your knees are staying behind your toes. Keeping your chest nice and open. And holding. Just 10 more seconds here. I know this isn't easy. Definitely feel the burn on this one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Great job. All right, we're going to get into the donkey kicks now. We're going to start with our right foot kicking. You can put that resistance band on if you would like to. All right, so you're going to go into tabletop, hands under your shoulder points, knees under your hip points, and starting now, kicking that right foot up towards the sky, and then bringing it down. The sole of your foot should be pointing or facing the ceiling, as opposed to having your toe pointed. You want to have your feet flat. And you should feel a squeeze through the right glute as you push that leg up towards the sky. Doing great. Just 15 more seconds here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Great job. We're going to switch sides now. Targeting that left side. So you're going to get back into tabletop. And we're going to be kicking that left leg up towards the ceiling. So hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips, and starting now, kicking that left leg up towards the ceiling. The sole of your left foot is facing the ceiling. Let's try to keep our torso as stable as we can while kicking that leg up and bringing it down. Doing great. Just 15 more seconds. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Great job on that first set. We're going to start back up at the top with our sumo squat hold. So again, feet are a little more than shoulder distance apart, toes pointing slightly out, hands at the chest or above the head if you want to make this really tough, and then squat your weight down, pushing your weight back towards your heels, and we're going to hold here. If you find that where you initially sunk down to is a little too low, you can bring that squat up a little bit higher. That's totally fine. You're still going to be getting a good workout in. Keeping that torso upright as much as possible. 15 more seconds here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. Great work. We're going to get back on the donkey kicks on our right leg in a moment here. So going back into tabletop, Hands under the shoulder points, knees under the hip points, kicking that right foot up towards the ceiling, squeezing that glute at the top, and then bringing your foot back down, your knee tapping the mat before pushing the leg back up towards the sky. Keeping your torso stable as much as possible. More seconds here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. We're going to switch sides. Great work. Heading back into tabletop. I'm sorry if you catch me coughing a little bit. I had a cold last week, so I just have this lingering cough. All right, kick that left foot up towards the ceiling. Squeezing that left glute at the top. Sole of your foot is facing the ceiling, flat foot. And you tap that knee down on the mat as it comes down. Then you just push that leg back up. Great job. 15 more seconds here. You got this. 3, 2, 1, rest. Woohoo! Just one more set of all of those. And then we're going to move on to our last circuit, which is core focused. Okay, so standing back up on your mat, feet are about a little bit more than shoulder distance apart, toes are pointing out, and we're going to squat and hold. Sinking your weight down, you're pushing your weight back towards your heels to keep your knees tracking behind your toes. We're just holding here, doing great. Keeping the torso upright as much as possible. Feeling that energy flowing through your muscles. Feeling good. You got this. Just 15 more seconds. I know you can do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Whew, I definitely felt that one. All right, let's get into these final donkey kicks. First on the right side. So getting back into tabletop, your hands are under your shoulder points, knees are under your hip points, flat back. Let's kick that right foot up starting now. Squeeze that glute, tap the knee back on the mat, and then send that leg back up. Repeating this way. These are our last glute-focused exercises of this workout. So see if you can push yourself a little bit harder if you can during these last 2 sets. Not much time remaining here. Just 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, rest. All right, last set here until we go into the core exercises. Tabletop position. Hands under your shoulder points. Knees under your hip points. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Kicking that left foot up towards the sky, tapping that knee down on the mat, and then sending the leg back up towards the sky. Keeping your torso nice and stable. You got this. I know your glutes are burning, but not much longer left till we give them a nice rest. Focus on that core. 10 more seconds. Keep pushing. 3, 2, 1, rest. Great work. All right, we're gonna get into our final circuit here. Let me show you what those exercises are gonna look like. I'm just gonna quickly reset my timer here. Bear with me. Perfect, okay. So we're gonna do a dead bug, a supine toe touch, and then alternating V-sit crunch. That might sound like a bunch of gibberish, but it's fine because I'll show you what those exercises are gonna look like. So starting with the dead bug, you're gonna lay down flat on the mat. You're gonna send your hands up towards the sky, and then you're going to lift your feet up off the mat so that your shins are parallel to the ceiling. And then you're going to send your right arm back towards the back of the room, towards your right ear. And as you do that, you're gonna send your left leg forward, hovering off the ground. And then you're gonna bring them back, both back towards the middle, and switch sides. So next will be your left arm sent back towards the back of the room, and your right leg sending it forward and hovering above the mat, and then bringing them back up towards the middle. So it's opposite arms and legs. So if it's your left arm, it's your right leg, and if it's your right arm, it's your left leg. So we'll just alternate that way. So that's what that's gonna look like, and that targets your core. Okay, so that's the dead bug. I know it's not the most pleasant name, but there, it is what it is. All right, next is the supine toe touch. So you're gonna stay laying in the mat, but you're gonna have your feet planted on the mat. And then, okay, sorry, my words are all jumbled. So laying on the mat, starting with your feet planted on the mat, and then you're gonna lift your legs up so your shins are facing towards the ceiling. So the same position as dead bug, but your arms are gonna stay by your sides as opposed to being overhead like that, okay? And then you're gonna tap one toe on the mat in front of you, bring it back up, and then tap the other toe down on the mat, bring it back up to meet your other leg, and switch sides, just like that. Okay? And then the last exercise is an alternating V-sit crunch. So you're gonna lay back on the mat, your arms and your legs are extended out long. You're going to reach your right hand to meet your left leg. So extending them both up to meet each other in the middle, and then switch sides. Right arm to meet your left leg, and switch sides, just like that. So it's basically a crunch variation. All right, so let's get started with those exercises. Let me just take a look at the time quickly, see if I should adjust the number of sets. Let's see. We've got 10 minutes left. So what we're going to do is 2 sets instead of 3 sets of those core exercises. Let me just get that set up. All right, starting now with the dead bugs. Laying on your mat, hands are pointed up towards the ceiling, your legs are up off the mat, your shins are pointing towards the ceiling. Let's extend that left leg forward and your right arm back, hovering, and then meet them back up to the middle and switch sides. So left arm and right leg hovering off the mat, extended out. Just switching sides. I know this one can be sometimes hard to wrap your head around, like switching up your rights and your lefts. So it's a nice little brain challenge as well as a physical challenge. And rest. All right, next we're going to do those toe taps. So just rest for a moment here. Got 10 seconds. And then starting in a few seconds, we're going to lift those legs up, starting now, shins facing the ceiling, and then tap one toe to meet the mat, bring it back up, and then tap the other toe to meet the mat, bring that leg back up. Alternating sides. Keep your lower back pressed into the mat as you do this exercise to protect your lower back. Great job. Slow and controlled movement here. Just 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, rest. Great job. All right, lastly, we're going to do those alternating V-sit crunches, and then we're going to do one more set of all of those. Okay, so you're extended out in your mat, arms are by your ears, legs are long, and starting right now, you're going to reach your right arm to meet your right leg, or your left leg in the middle, and then switch sides. Left arm crunches towards your right leg, and switch, just alternating sides. Great job. Keeping that lower back pressed into the mat. Doing good. As you lift your head, neck, and shoulders off the mat, keep your chin tucked, and rest. All right, one more set of all those exercises, and then we're gonna do a quick cool down. So we're gonna start with the dead bug. Laying back on the mat, reach those hands up towards the sky, and then your legs are up towards the sky, shins are facing the ceiling. Let's extend that left leg forward, the right arm back. They're both hovering above the mat, and then meeting at the middle, and switching sides. Right leg forward, left arm back, and hovering. And switch. Great job. I think this is a deceivingly challenging exercise. It looks like it might be pretty easy, but as you do multiple sets, you're like, oh, I feel my abs. All right, keep rocking through this. And rest. Good job. Just 2 more exercises. Get those toe touches, and then the V-sit crunches. So laying back on the mat, arms are on the mat, feet are planted. And now you're going to lift those legs up. Your shins are facing the ceiling. Tapping one toe on the mat, bringing it up towards the middle, and then tapping the other toe. And repeating. Alternating sides. Great job. Keep that low back pressed into the mat. 10 more seconds here. Three, two, one, rest. Awesome. One more exercise. Then we're done. Woohoo. All right, let's extend out long. Arms overhead, just resting on the ground. Legs are out long. And starting now, you're going to reach that right arm towards your left leg, crunching in the middle here, and switching sides. Left arm towards right leg, crunching in the middle. keeping the chin tucked in towards the chest as you lift your neck and shoulders off of the mat to crunch. Just finish out strong here. I know you can do it. Keeping that lower back pressed into the mat. And rest. Awesome job. Crushed it. We're going to do a quick cool down. Let me just take a peek at the time here. All right, good. We've got a few minutes. All right, so starting laying down on the mat, we're going to do a figure 4 stretch to stretch the glutes. So left foot is planted on the mat. You're going to take your right leg, place the outer edge of your right ankle on top of your left thigh, and either just stay here to stretch that outside of your right glute out. If that feels like a deep enough stretch. If you want a little bit of a deeper stretch, pick that left foot off the mat, and then interlace your fingertips behind your left thigh here, and just gently pull that left thigh a little bit closer towards your chest. And you should feel a really nice deep stretch through your right glute. We're going to hold here for a few moments and then switch sides. Maybe closing your eyes here, slowing down your breath. And switching sides, placing both feet back down on the mat, knees are facing the ceiling. And then you're going to keep that right leg planted, pick up your left leg, place the outer edge of your left ankle on top of your right thigh, and either just stay here to stretch, or you can pick up that right thigh and interlace your hands behind it, just gently pulling your right thigh a little bit closer towards your chest, feeling that nice deep stretch through your left glute, and holding here for a few moments. All right, and releasing from here, let's get into tabletop, and we'll just do a few cat-cows and then call it a day. Okay, so back to tabletop, hands are under your shoulder points, knees under your hip points. Let's drop that belly towards the ground, shine open that chest, look up towards the sky, hold, and then reverse the movement. So push that back up towards the ceiling, tucking your chin in towards your chest, pushing up your back, holding here, and then reversing again, dropping that belly down, opening up the chest, looking up towards the ceiling, stretching out your abs, and reversing the movement. Pushing that back up towards the ceiling, tucking your chin in towards your chest. Let's do one more of each of these, okay? So dip that belly towards the ground, open up that chest and shoulders, look up towards the ceiling, and reverse the movement. Push your spine up towards the ceiling, tuck your chin in towards your chest, and release. All right, great job everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll be back tomorrow with, I think, a little stretching routine. So hopefully I'll see you there.